Hello there, 4th and 5th graders, and welcome to your next math lesson. Please open up your math notebook to the next available page and write the title of today's lesson, which is Model Area. Now, if you're here in class, I gave you a piece of paper like this, which has the squares all over it. If you're not here in class, you'll have to just do your best to follow along and pay attention. Taking the notes will be hard for you because if you don't have one of these pieces of paper. So if you're not here in class, if you're watching this at home, don't worry about the notes, just pay attention and try to understand. But if you are here in class and you have one of these papers, then go ahead and follow along with me. Hold that thought for 1 second, sorry. Mr. Dauber speaking. Oh, he is in he's at library right now. All right, thanks, bye. Okay, sorry about that. So today's lesson is called Model Area. So first of all, what is area? Area is the number of square units needed to cover a figure without any overlap. And another way of saying that is it's the amount of space inside of a two-dimensional figure. So let's draw a two-dimensional figure right here. Let's go ahead and draw this one. Now go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And go over 3. So we're making a rectangle, and it is 7 units long, and it's 3 units wide, okay? So, and we'll say that that's feet. Of course, it's not really feet, but we'll just pick the unit of feet. So when we're talking about the area of this rectangle, we're talking about the amount of square units or square feet that can fit inside of this rectangle. And when we say square feet, we just mean a square. Like, let's pretend that it was 1 foot from here to here, and that it was 1 foot from here to here. That would make this, now of course it's not really 1 square foot, because it's not really a foot, it's much smaller than that, but just pretend with me. Pretend it was 1 foot from here to here, and 1 foot from here to here. That would make this a square that's 1 foot tall and 1 foot wide, or 1 foot long and 1 foot wide. That would make it a square foot. Now, since it could apply to anything, it could apply to inches, feet, yards, whatever, we call it a square unit. It's a square unit. It's 1 square, and it's 1 square unit, because the unit could be anything. It could be inches, feet, yards, or miles, whatever. And we're measuring how many of those square units can fit inside of one of these. So one way we could find it is we could just count them. We could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so the area is 21 square feet. Or we could write that as 21 feet squared. Raising something to the second power is the same as saying that it's squared, because you're saying it goes in 2 different directions, and that's what a square foot does. It goes in this direction, but it goes in this direction too. So we can either write the word square, or we can just raise it to the second power. Both of those mean the same thing, but all area answers always need to be square answers, because they're not just answers to distance, they're answers to the amount of space inside of something. And that goes in 2 different directions. It goes this way, but it also goes this way too. So that's why it needs to be squared. Now, some of you may have noticed that counting the squares inside was actually not the best way to find out how many squares were in there, because 21 is also the answer to 7 times 3. And that's another important thing that we're going to learn today, the formula for finding area. The formula for finding area is area equals length times width. So that's actually all you need to do, is count the amount of units going down, or count how many units long it is, and then count how many units wide it is, and just multiply those 2 numbers together. That gives you the area. So let's do another example, but this time instead of counting, let's just use this formula right here. Area equals length times width. Or you could also write length times width equals area. It doesn't matter if the A goes on the left side of the equal sign or if it goes on the right side. Okay, go ahead and draw this rectangle with me. Let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units long, and let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4 units wide. Now all we have to do is just finish it off. Since we went 4 units on this side, let's go 4 units on this side, and since we did 10 units on this side, let's do 10 units on this side. Now, if we were finding the perimeter of this rectangle, we would have to add up the distance of all the sides. But since we're finding area, we just do length times width. So we already know the distance from here to here is 10 units. Let's just say that it's 10 inches, even though it's not really 10 inches. And we already know the distance from here to here is 4 units. And again, let's just say it's 4 inches, just because we have to pick some kind of unit. To find the area, the space inside, in other words, the amount of square units that can fit inside of this rectangle, all we have to do is follow this formula. Length times width equals area. The length is 10 times the width is 4. So it's 10 times 4, and 10 times 4 is 40. Since it's inches, we write inches, and since it's an area answer, we raise it to the second power. So it's 10 times 4 equals 40 inches squared. Let's do one more example. Let's do this one. Let's make it only 2 units wide, and let's make it 11 units long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we just have to finish off the rectangle by adding the other sides, and we have a rectangle. Okay, how do we find the area of this rectangle? Well, we could count all the squares inside, or since we know it's 11 units long, let's just say it's 11 yards. Of course, it's not actually 11 yards. And since it's 2 units wide, let's say it's 2 yards wide. To find the area, we just do length times width equals area. It actually doesn't matter which one you see as the length and which one you see as the width. All you really have to do is just make sure you multiply both numbers together. So the length, we'll write that as 11 times the width is 2. And 11 times 2 is 22 yards. Since it's an area answer, we raise it to the second power. So it's 22 yards squared. Okay, that's today's lesson in a nutshell. Remember that the word area means the number of square units needed to cover a 2-dimensional figure without any overlap. And remember, the formula for finding area is length times width equals area. So all you have to do is find the 2 side lengths, the width and the length, and multiply them together. That gives you the area. Go ahead and do your very best on today's quiz, which is attached underneath this video in the Math Google Classroom, and I will catch you next time. This is Mr. Dauber, signing off.